And I've had some thoughts here and I wanted to share them with you today. Good morning. For those of you just joining us, did we want to go into the oratory
Nope,
first?
got it.
Okay. Try that again here. I've had some thoughts that I wanted to share with you. Number one is the rule of 72. We want to go over that. And the power of trust. We've had a couple issues with regards to that. Let's talk about that right now. I want to begin today by a question that seems simple but thought-provoking. Do you believe that 9 times 6 is 54? How do you know? Have you ever sat down and physically counted out 9 rows of 6 to double check? Or are you relying on somebody else's assertion that this statement is true? The truth is, most of us accept that 9 times 6 equals 54 because it's been taught to us and we trust that it's correct. But that trust, whether we're talking about math, the systems we rely on, or the people in our lives, is foundational to how we navigate the world. Which brings me to today's oratory, trust. Trust is something we all rely on, whether aware of it or not. Think about it. Every day we place trust in countless systems, from the financial institutions that manage our money to the people we interact with. And yet, how often do we stop and really think about why we trust what we do? How do we know what we're being told is in fact the truth? What makes us trust certain sources or rely on certain methods of problem solving, like that of multiplication table we take for granted? But trust isn't just about trusting numbers, formulas, or even systems. It's about people. We live in a world where no man is an island. We come to rely on each other in ways that are often unspoken, and that reliance shapes our lives. Some people will be in your life for a brief moment, and others for decades. And during that time, trust becomes the glue that holds everything together. So how does this tie into everything or something as seemingly simple as the rule of 72? Well, let's think about this for a second. For those of you that are unfamiliar with the rule of 72, it's a basic formula used to estimate the number of years it will take for an investment to double given a fixed annual rate of return. It's simple. Take the interest rate, divide it into the number 72. The result, the number of years it'll take for your investment to double. Now let's step back and apply this concept to our lives, not just our finances, but to our relationships, our trust, and even our self-growth. The rule of 72 teaches us that the more interest we put into something, the more it will compound over time. If you're diligent, consistent, and thoughtful in your investments, whether it's in silver, in your career, or in the people you trust, those efforts will multiply. But here's the thing, this works in reverse as well. The more you don't invest, the more you trust, or your returns decline. It's not just about the dollars and cents, it's about the time, effort, and relationships we build. If we neglect those, we will see our trust in others shrink, just like an investment with no growth. It's essential to make sure that we're feeding those relationships, nurturing the bonds of trust, and being intentional about who and what we allow to impact us. In today's world, we're bombarded by conflicting messages, but one thing is certain. Whether we're investing in our financial future or in the people that support us, we have to trust the process. We have to understand that time and the people we rely on will multiply our efforts or diminish them. So I encourage you today, as you go about your daily activities, to ask yourself this: who are you trusting? What are you investing your time and energy and resources in? Just like the rule of 72 tells us how interest compounds, your relationships and trust can multiply too. But that doesn't happen without conscious effort and the willingness to trust in the right places. Let's continue to build trust, not only in the systems around us, but in each other. Let's be mindful of where we invest our time and attention, understanding that just like silver, trust can hold real, lasting value in our lives. Thank you, folks. Thanks for trusting me. You can keep investing, and let's make today another day of growth and connection. President Trump sends classified letter to the House and Senate leaders. I have directed the Pentagon to move additional combat-ready troops to the Middle East. War is coming. Biggest indicator of Middle East war came today. Of all the military movements we have seen towards the Middle East over the last month or so, this is the one to me that's telling that something is likely imminent. After dozens of C-17s and numerous C-5 military cargo aircraft bringing in thousands of tons of war gear, today, 2 U.S. Air Force E-3 Sentry airborne early warning and control aircraft arrived earlier today in the U.S. Central Command area of responsibility from Tinker Air Force Base, Oklahoma.
Well, now I'm recording like right to TikTok because like is getting real now. So we're off north of our property a little bit, and we were looking for places that naturally hold water, and we found this like little pond that's like north of an arroyo, and this thing is filled with kids' backpacks.
Like filled with backpacks.
And there's like a mound here, and
there's like a bunch of signs
there's more
of like
backpacks.
wildlife activity,
like if you dig down,
it's like
there's backpacks. There's little kids' backpacks here.
Don't be too loud, please.
Like there are kids' backpacks here. I'm armed, but we found a place out in the middle of the desert north of our property that has bones and boots and
All sorts of shit.
kids' backpacks. Yeah. This is getting really, really weird.
In the interview with the Los Angeles Times on April 21st, you said that you told the Associated Press that the American government has created weather tampering techniques so that the New World Order will be able to starve millions of Americans and to control the rest. Would you explain what you were trying to say?
Well, what I was trying to say is exactly what I said. There is weather control techniques. We have a complete package on that, which I did not bring, but I certainly will see to it that it is brought in for the record. Number one, the entire patents on the equipment. Number two, Senator Claiborne Pell's complete statement and story of his own that not only does it exist, that we even utilize it as far back as the Vietnam War. You might want to touch base with Senator Pell.
I just want to repeat before we turn to
So yes,
questions.
but we do have all that information.
You're saying the government has created weather tampering techniques so that the, quote, New World Order will be able to starve millions of Americans.
Worldwide.
Millions of Americans, and to control the rest.
Yes, sir, and that's my belief. As bizarre as that sounds, if somebody had told me that equipment even existed 10 years ago, I would have thought they were nuts, sir. And at this point in time, we have all the documents to prove it. And if you think that 85 tornadoes takes place in the middle of our growing area by simultaneous accident, I'm sorry. With the equipment that's already set up internationally, and as bizarre as that is, it is proven and documented. We will supply you with those documents. As bizarre as that is, I would say that weather wars, and this is quoting actually Senator Claiborne Pell himself, that they are the greatest weapon ever created in the world, and that's the senator's own statement. So yes, I do stand on that.
Thank you, Mr. Fletcher. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
A patriot. Trump task force vows to end anti-Christian bias. Federal employees have reportedly been asked to report instances of such discrimination among colleagues. The White House has launched a task force to investigate the alleged anti-Christian bias within federal agencies, directing employees to report perceived discrimination against Christians among their colleagues, according to media reports. U.S. President Donald Trump mandated the creation of what is called the Task Force to Eradicate Anti-Christian Bias in an executive order in February. The task force is meant to identify policies and actions across federal departments that have unlawfully discriminated against Christians, according to the document. The government, which was designed for the people, has got into the hands of bosses and their employers, and the special interest and invisible empire has been set up above the forms of democracy. I am a most unhappy man. I have unwittingly ruined my country. A great industrial nation is now controlled by its system of credit. We are no longer a government by free opinion, no longer a government by conviction and the vote of the majority, but a government of the opinion and duress of a small group of dominant men.
You want me to really blow your mind? When the market deems a bond too risky to buy, what do you think we do with it? Take a guess.
I don't know, you tell me.
All right. You think we just warehouse it on the books? No. We just repackage it with a bunch of other shit that didn't sell and put it into a CDO.
A CDO?
Yes, a CDO.
What is that?
This is where we take a bunch of Bs, double Bs, and triple Bs that haven't sold, and we put them in a pile. And when the pile gets large enough, the whole thing is suddenly considered diversified. And then the whores at the rating agency give it a 92, 93% AAA rating. No questions asked.
Say that again.
Collateralized debt obligation. It's important to understand because it's what allowed a housing crisis to become a nationwide economic disaster. Here's world-famous chef Anthony Bourdain to explain.
Okay, I'm a chef on a Sunday afternoon, setting the menu at a big restaurant. I ordered my fish on Friday, which is the mortgage bond that Michael Burry shorted. But some of the fresh fish doesn't sell. I don't know why. Maybe it just came out halibut has the intelligence of a dolphin. So what am I going to do?